You might say that tonight. We're going to hit the ground running with a story about a big event downtown that draws thousands of people who want to run a long, long way, even if it means doing it in the pouring rain. But Anne-Marie Berger's story is not just about the event itself. It's about some of the people who choose to make that run much more than a personal challenge.
We love you, but you must start at the rear of the start line.
Each year, the Go St. Louis Marathon and Half Marathon gets bigger and bigger. 2009 marked its 9th year and was at maximum capacity, with 15,000 runners participating in the marathon, half marathon, and marathon relay. The reasons individuals come out here and pound the pavement in the rain are as varied as the runners themselves. Some do it for fitness or the challenge, others do it because they like a free t-shirt, and there are those who run for a cause.
My name is Jody Alde. This will be my 5th marathon, and it will be my 3rd as a charity runner. The Charity Runner program, their mission is to raise money and awareness for the American Cancer Society through endurance events.
The Charity Runner program has been a part of the Chicago Marathon since 1996, but this year the Go St. Louis Marathon and Half Marathon marks the first ACS Charity Runner program in the state of Missouri. Now, Jody didn't just commit to running the distance and raising the money. She was also committed to getting the program off the ground.
Well, after I relocated here to St. Louis from Chicago, I immediately called the American Cancer Society here in St. Louis.
I got this random phone call from this girl who said that she and her husband had just moved to St. Louis from Chicago, that he was in med school at St. Louis University, and that they were runners in the Chicago area and did the Chicago Marathon, and they did this American Cancer Society Charity Runner program and wanted to know if we had one here and what we could do about starting it.
There wasn't a lot of awareness of this program in this area.
I was not familiar with the program whatsoever, had never heard of it.
I never knew a charity runner.
But after her persuasion and finally getting the direction that I needed in the green light, we met in the fall and said, okay, let's do this.
Which we're really, really excited about.
For the American Cancer Society, their goal was to have over 10 runners or raise $10,000.
Jody's involvement in the program is a personal one. In the spring of 2007, just months before her wedding, cancer made its way into her family.
My fiance, well now husband, was diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
My endocrinologist called me and said, yeah, you have papillary thyroid cancer. It's the best kind of cancer to have if you're going to have cancer, and it's not very typical in your age group, and it's more common in females between 30 and 40, but it can happen across the board. And so then we just kind of went from there.
It made the Charity Runner program, I guess, a little bit more meaningful and a little bit more close to home, since it was very out of the blue that Jonathan had cancer.
Jonathan had his thyroid removed, underwent radiation, and he will be on hormone replacements for the rest of his life. He is currently in the cancer management phase. However, he does still have cancer, but with medication, he can reduce the risk of it metastasizing.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to still deal with that and just know that there's a potential that it could be growing somewhere.
Jonathan trained for the half marathon while Jody trained for the full. Together, they have committed to raising a minimum of $1,500 for the American Cancer Society.
You want to start outside?
And the key with any endurance fundraising is that you have to be pretty a driven person to actually train for a race, and it's a lot, and it takes over a large chunk of your life, and the two seem to go hand in hand. That's why we put aggressive fundraising goals. That usually someone who's out there running 25 or upwards of 40 miles for the full marathoners a week, raising $750 to them really isn't that hard.
That's going to be nice to run in.
He's did a really good job. I like the back too.
Make every mile count.
There's an equation, so to speak, for a startup event. You want to get, I think it's 0.5% of your participants. So this first year my goal was 9 people
to recruit. So we started out small.
Yeah, we were about T-minus an hour and a half before the race.
They started out small but surpassed their goal of recruits. There were 14 charity runners who trained for the Go St. Louis Marathon and Half Marathon and raised more than $15,000.
She's been my biggest supporter throughout the whole thing. I mean, it would have been significantly different going through the whole thing without her.
On race day, there were 15,000 participants, and while they all looked the same, tough, strong, determined, and wet, everyone was different, crossing that finish line, reaching their own goals.
Come on, you're 4 hours and 10 minutes into this event. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, St. Louis. You're making it happen right now.